of why he's angling to leave. Isak has spent much of the summer looking to leave Newcastle. They had originally been adamant that he'd not be leaving but for a huge sum. Before the Swede decided to tell the Magpies he wanted out, Liverpool's interest in Alexander Isak, which even saw them table a £110 million bid, has made the Swedish forward realize that there are bigger opportunities awaiting him beyond St. James Park. So far, Newcastle have remained defiant, rejecting Liverpool's record offer and sidelining Isak to make it clear that no individual player is greater than the club. While his recent behavior has drawn criticism from some quarters, Sweden boss Jon Dahl Tomasson has offered his support. Speaking to Fotbollskunnen, Tomasson said, "First and foremost, Alex is a true professional. He's an excellent person with great character. I've spoken with him a lot during this difficult spell. These situations are never simple. Players work in very complicated environments. I'm convinced things will eventually sort themselves out, but it's important not to jump to conclusions without understanding the full story. That's something I've always believed. I don't have all the details either, because politics plays a big role within football clubs. But what I can say without doubt is that Alex is a fantastic guy, and extremely professional. People should be cautious before making judgments because the bigger picture isn't always visible." Reports suggest that Isak twice informed Newcastle of his desire to leave, first making his stance clear towards the end of last season to give the club ample time to prepare. He was quoted as saying, "Promises were made, and the club has long known where I stand. When those promises are broken and trust disappears, the relationship can't continue." Newcastle transfer updates. Team Talk reports that Newcastle are now exploring alternatives, with Wolves striker Jurgen Strand Larsen on their radar. Despite his recent permanent move, Newcastle believe a deal could still be done. Talks for Brentford's Jon Wissa have been more complicated, as the Bees want around £60 million and won't sell unless they secure a replacement first. If Aston Villa complete a move for Nicholas Jackson, the Magpies may turn their attention to Ollie Watkins, with Chelsea also in the mix for the forward. Mohamed Salah makes history with third PFA triumph. Liverpool icon Mohamed Salah has once again etched his name into the record books, winning the PFA Player of the Year award for an unprecedented third time. The Egyptian superstar beat strong competition from Newcastle's Alexander Isak and Manchester United's Bruno Fernandes, thanks to an extraordinary campaign in which he scored 34 goals and provided 23 assists. Salah was instrumental in guiding Liverpool to the Premier League title under Arne Slot, netting 29 league goals and adding 18 assists to claim the Golden Boot ahead of Erling Haaland and Isak. The six-man shortlist included Isak, Alexis Mack, Alistair, Liverpool, Fernandes, Cole Palmer, Chelsea, and Declan Rice, Arsenal. Salah, however, stood out as the clear winner, underlining his dominance in English football. On the women's side, former Liverpool star Olivia Smith collected the Women's Young Player of the Year award after her record-breaking move to Arsenal this summer. Aston Villa's Morgan Rogers claimed the Men's Young Player of the Year honor, beating Liverpool left-back Milos Kerkez and prospects Dean Hydson, Finn Nwaneri, Liam Delap, and Miles Lewis-Skelly. Federico Chiesa commits to Liverpool after U-turn. Another major development, Federico Chiesa has decided to remain at Liverpool. Reversing his earlier desire to leave, his agent has informed the club of his clear wish to continue at Anfield beyond the summer transfer window. As reported by Fabrizio Romano, the Italian winger initially considered leaving after a difficult first season in which he struggled for game time and impact, managing just 500 minutes across 14 appearances with 2 goals and 2 assists at one point. Chiesa leaned towards a move away when Liverpool rejected bids for Luis Diaz earlier this summer. But following Diaz's big money switch to Bayern Munich, Chiesa now feels he has more opportunities to stake his claim in the squad. His decisive goal in Liverpool's recent Premier League win over Bournemouth has further boosted his confidence. Manager Arne Slot also praised the 27-year-old after that performance, reinforcing Chiesa's belief that he can start a new chapter at Anfield. Serie A clubs had shown strong interest in bringing him back to Italy. But with his change of Chiesa is set to stay at Liverpool for at least another season. Manchester United's training session at Carrington today was full of intensity and purpose, as the players were put through a series of high-tempo, finishing drills and small-sided games focused on sharpening movement in the final third. There was a clear emphasis on breaking through compact defensive lines. It's a strong indication that the coaching staff are preparing for a Fulham side expected to sit deep and restrict space. Throughout the session, coaches consistently urged forward runners to attack space early, stressing the importance of quicker decision-making in front of goal. Defensive organization also received plenty of attention. Repetitive drills centered on dealing with crosses and second balls inside the penalty area, particularly after set pieces, no surprise. Given the goal United conceded from a similar situation against Arsenal on Sunday, the goalkeepers played a significant role in these sequences. Working closely with the defenders to improve communication and timing in aerial situations, across the board, the level of intensity and unity stood out. Coaching staff remained vocal, reinforcing the positives from the Arsenal performance and stressing the need to build on that. Momentum. Tactical breaks between drills were used to deliver key instructions, with particular focus on how the midfield can better support both attack and defense. The session concluded with a short full-pitch game, where players were tasked with maintaining constant forward pressure and replicating in-game tempo. Coaches appeared satisfied with the players' response, especially the sharpness in attacking combinations and commitment to defensive recovery runs. With 3 sessions still to come this week, United are clearly focused on refining their tactical approach and building confidence ahead of the Fulham clash. Based on today's showing, there's a strong determination within the group to bounce back from the disappointment against Arsenal and produce a statement. Its performance at Craven Cottage. This week's training also saw the integration of new set-piece routines not yet used in competitive matches. Several corner and wide free-kick patterns were trialed, aiming to increase unpredictability in the final third. Each routine was reviewed and adjusted in real time to ensure every player understood their role within the structure. There's a growing belief within the squad that this is an opportunity to regain momentum heading into a congested fixture list. Players and coaches have been reminded that the performance levels shown against Arsenal laid a solid foundation. Now it's about maintaining that, its intensity throughout the week. Despite falling to a 1-0 defeat at home to Arsenal, United's performance told a different story from the scoreboard. Calafiori's 13th-minute strike proved the match winner. But United dominated large spells and were unfortunate not to come away with at least a point. From the opening whistle, United played with aggression and confidence. They pressed high,